Hey everyone, what's going on? Retire on Dividends here, back to make another update video on Rex Shares FEPI. This is the Innovation Equity Premium Income ETF. This is becoming a big fan favorite for a lot of people. And rightfully so. They are producing not only dividend yields, but they are, respectable dividend yield. They are producing capital gains, which is very, impressive. So for those of you that do not know, FEPI, basically, it's another covered call ETF. They own tech companies and they sell covered calls in them. That's basically the gist of it, okay? If we go through, they launched on October 11th, 2023. They've had a pretty good track record since, which we'll get into. The NAV is 5643. The fund assets total 112 million, very impressive. Shares outstanding 2 million. Number of holdings shows 72, but that's because they outright own the actual shares of these tech companies, and also they have, each covered call, represents a holding. So the expense ratio is 0.65%. It's lower than Yield Max, lower than Defiance. And of course, we're here to talk about the distribution. They declared their fourth distribution yesterday. This one is going to be paid in February. The payment date is February 28th, and the ex-dividend date is the 26th, which I believe is actually Monday. So Friday would have been the last date that you can buy and own the shares and still qualify for the distribution. And then obviously the next declaration would come on March 25th. They'll have to update the calendar soon. They only went out, as far as, 5 months when they started. So here's the record, and we'll go to the spreadsheet in a second. They increase their distribution every month, up until this month, actually. Although, just a penny short, so it's not really a big deal. Here's their holdings. I never noticed, but they do have the actual pictures of their holdings. All tech stocks, which again, I'll get into in a second. That shows their holdings, and that's the gist of it. And if you want to sign up for their updates, obviously you could put your information there and they will email you the updates. But real quick too, I just want to give a shout out to Scott McKenna from Rex Shares. Nice guy. He sent me some, shirts and other stuff for FEPI and Rex Shares in general for free. And he also reached out to me and said, would your community be interested, in free merchandise, basically a free FEPI shirt? And I said, absolutely. So, he joined the Discord, and he, in the Rex Shares channel, he reached out to everyone and said, just message him if you're interested in a free FEPI shirt. And I thought that was really awesome, really generous of them. So sooner or later, they're going to be looking at us from space, and everyone's going to be wearing a nice little FEPI shirt, right? But no, I think it's a smart idea to offer merchandise as a new company, new fund manager. It really does make sense to get them on the map. So, I just want to thank him again. So anyway, if you guys are interested in that, by the way, you can feel free to join my Discord and go into the Rex Shares channel. It's one of the pinned messages. So, all right, let's get into the spreadsheet. So, as you know, I did an update on FEPI last week, so I'll do another update of the holdings after we talk about the dividends. So, again, this is number fourth distribution. Again, payable. Let me zoom in a little. Yeah. February 28th, it's $1.19. It's a penny short from last month, so it's a 0.83% decrease. I don't know, they did not put anything on the website yet, whether or not this is return of capital, but it could be, again, because they don't really get us, when they sell covered calls, they don't really allow their shares to get assigned. So they take the loss, like they'll pay it outright, all right? And they can mark that as a loss and then, net that against income, okay? So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. What else we got? So yeah, well, I'll update the return of capital. When they update the 19-1 notice on the website. Here's some historical real quick about the price. Historical data. So way back when, when they launched, when was that? October 11th, the price was 51.69. Okay, and then obviously went along and went down to 49, and that was probably the last time you saw the 40s because it stayed in the 56, 55, 57, 55, and now it's down to 56 again. So today it's 56.58. Launch date it's 51.69. That's a capital appreciation if you bought on launch of $4.89. Total distributions paid to date $4.72. That is a total return per share of $9.61 or 18.59% on a covered call ETF nonetheless. I haven't seen, again, this is brand new, so a lot can change, but so far since I've jumped into this high risk, high reward, high distribution yield game, this is by far the most impressive one. Obviously, the yield is not that high compared to others, 25%, but 25% is still pretty damn good, especially to have capital appreciation, not bad at all. So I just wanted to show you guys how it's been performing. I don't know when you guys bought in, but obviously you can run the numbers yourself and see how you're looking. But they did launch at 51.69 and they've come a long way since then. So if you do, well, I know for me, like if I see them drop in price down to the even close to the 51 range, I'm definitely going to buy more. That's at least my plan. All right, so that's the update on the price. Holdings. Okay, so these are the holdings. So if you go to the website, obviously you saw where to get the holdings. So you could export it however you want to do it. But here's who they own. They try to do it equally weighted. But as you can see, if one stock goes up, then the weighting is going to be misaligned. Like on the bottom, Palo Alto. I probably didn't say it right. Everyone always yells at me. 4.82%. Which obviously is not in line with the other ones, but they had a bad earnings, and so they they dipped a lot in price. Sorry about that. All right, so just look at the top. Let's go through the earnings real quick. Largest holding to lowest holding: Micron Technology, Nvidia, AMD, Broadcom, Amazon, Alphabet, Meta, Microsoft, Salesforce, Apple, Netflix, Intel, Tesla, Adobe, and then Palo Alto, whatever. And then they have cash, about $3 million in cash, 2.67% of their portfolio in cash. $3 million actually. So is that enough to pay their distribution, right? I don't know. Actually it might be, right? Let's take a look. How much money do they need? It's $1.19, and their outstanding shares was 2 mil, right? 2 mil. I assume that's as of Friday. Then $1.19. Right? So if we take 1.19, yeah, that'll still definitely be enough. Let's see how close it is though. 2 mil. Yeah, it's about 2,380,000 of let's format that. Okay. Yeah, so that is a decent amount of cash, and rightfully so. That is going to be used to pay out the distribution. So they have more than enough cash to pay out the next distribution, which is good. Okay. Yeah, I can get rid of that now. So let's move on to the covered calls. So everything below, anything with like a date and a C, this is covered call. So it'll have the ticker symbol. It says US, and then it'll have the date, which is the expiration date, and then C for call, and then a number which represents the strike price, which is the covered call strike price, and then that's it. So now, obviously, the value will show how much it would cost to, close out each one. So, the value would be a larger negative number if they're in the hole, as you know, with yield max, how those funds work. So, biggest one that they're in the hole with is Tesla. They have a 195, and I think it actually went below that though. But either way, 300,000. And then Micron, 293,000, AMD, 244. But anyway, let's look and see how far out of the money some of these are. They do many calls per each. First, let's look at Palo Alto. They have a $400 strike price. This expires, again, everything expires 3/15. 41% out of the money. But again, they dipped pretty hard after their earnings. Let's take another look at Palo Alto. 280 strike price. That one's actually in the money by 0.74%. That's why it's black. And last but not least, any others? Wow, they have a lot of calls. Much more than last month, by the way. All right, so Palo Alto only has 2 calls. Intel, 52 strike. That's 20% out of the money. They have another Intel, 47 strike, 9.33% out of the money. Still pretty good. And then if you look, they could have a third. They do. 46 strike, 7% out of the money. So their Intel positions, oh my God, another one. 45 strike, 4.68% out of the money. Yeah, so, a lot of calls on Intel. Now they're cheap, so every time they get a little money, it's easy for them to do calls on Intel. Adobe, 650, strike price. Currently Adobe's 553, so that's 17% out of the money. Oh, did I miss this Palo right below? 38% out of the money. Damn. Yeah, they must have tanked a lot. So yeah, Adobe has a 17% out of the money. If we have 2 more Adobes, 580, 560. Both still out of the money, 4%, 1%. And then a 570, 2.99% out of the money. So, they're doing okay. Let's check out the Tesla calls for fun. So let's look for TSLA. So here's one, a 210 strike. Oh yeah, the current price is 191, so it is below that 195. 9.39% out of the money. That's good. And then Tesla 200, the famous 200 strike, 4.18% out of the money. Not bad. And then we got the 195. This is the costly one because it's close. It's closer, but it's 1.58% out of the money. Okay. All right. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go through every single one. Actually, we'll just go through one more. Let's go through NVIDIA, and then we'll look at the negatives. NVIDIA, an 830 call. I'm surprised. They're still out of the money on NVIDIA. 5.3% out of the money. They could have rolled some of these, though. But look at this one. They obviously didn't roll that. 710 strike. That's 9.92% in the money. Oh, here's another one. 760 call. Strike price, 3.57% in the money. And another one. 780 strike, 1% in the money. Another one, 770 strike, 2.3% in the money. So they'll have to cash settle this if this is all still in the money by March. So, all right, let's see who else is in the money in black. So we have Salesforce is in the money. Well, we know Palo's in the money. Avgo in the money, which is Broadcom. Yeah, we know NVIDIA. AMD is in the money slightly. And Micron is in the money. So overall, the average, they're looking at 5.3% out of the money overall. So that's not too bad. Again, they do leave room for growth, which is why they sell calls a little further out of the money. I forget what their prospectus says. I should document that for next time. But yeah. Anyway, that's the update. But again, you can get their holding information directly on their website. But if you want to know how far out of the money they are, on a weekly basis, you have to let me know via comment, because I'm not sure if it's necessary, to be honest. Maybe every other week, because again, they're doing good, but it may be of interest to see like how it looks some weeks versus others, right? Like this Palo 400, right? Was that there before? Let's see here. 400, yeah, it was there. That was, I don't know. So the price update's automatic. I need to lock in that price so you can't see the changes. But yeah, so they did a lot. They added a lot more covered calls, which tells me, because if you look here, this is last week actually. Covered. They ended on row 49. This time, where does it end? Row 73. So obviously there was more interest into the fund. And let's check the outstanding shares. 1.6 million from a week ago to 2 million. So this fund is becoming very, very popular. And it's just going to keep growing. Why? Because of their absolutely amazing performance. And maybe because they can get a nice t-shirt. But, either way, it's just again, nothing really bad to say about the fund. As far as Rec Shares is concerned, I just really hope they offer, new ETFs soon. I know they have the 2x leverage, but those are a little too dangerous for me at the moment. I'm already playing with 1.5x leverage on my TSLL, and that's just enough for me. But we'll see what they come out with. But overall, their distribution is 119. So if you owned it on Friday, you'll get paid, which is good. And you'll get paid on February 28th. So hopefully, if you guys want to share your payments in the comments, I'm curious to know. Are you living off dividends right now? Are they paying you a hefty dividend? Let's see what your total is, or at least what it's going to be on February 28th. But yeah, if you guys enjoy this content, please hit that like button. That's the easiest way to let me know. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, just leave in the comments below. But yeah, that's the update on FEPI. That's the distribution for the month of February. And obviously the update on the holdings. And again, I'll do this periodically based on the feedback, either weekly, bi-weekly, whatever. We'll see how it goes. But it's a fund I do like. It's a fund I do own. So, of course, I don't mind covering it. Making this spreadsheet was a little pain in the ass this morning. For some reason, they wouldn't copy the data over properly. But that's Google Sheets for you. Sometimes it doesn't work. But I eventually got it to go. But as always, guys, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you were entertained. All right. I got to go, guys. But enjoy the rest of your weekend. Later.